Hello and welcome to the very windy garden. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm going to do a quick plot tour today to show you what I've got in the ground. I might have to resort to doing a voiceover if it's too windy. So I'll stop waffling now and let's get on with it. So let's start the tour here with the bed by the conservatory. This is my brassica bed, well, one of my brassica beds. And this patch here has got cauliflower in it. So the cauliflowers are doing well. The second row is doing much better than the first row. I think it's because they're overshadowed by the steps. So I need to bear that in mind next year when I'm planting something here. That maybe I just need to not plant so far into the corner of the bed. And I also need to do a bit of weeding in this bed. And then next up, this is my cabbage, wongbak or Chinese cabbage. And it does look like it's doing okay. It has been eaten a little bit by probably slugs, I would have thought. But it's coming on, it's heartening up, which is always nice to see. And finally, on the end here, these are my greyhound cabbages, and they are doing well too. And I noticed that a bit of this compost is upended, so I must have a mole underneath. The mole must have pushed some of the compost up. Anyway, we move on over to here. These are my Desiree potatoes that I rescued from a sack that I just left and didn't harvest last year. So I planted what was some good potatoes out into there. And then these are my shallots. They are growing really well. And then these are my first early, and they are swift. And they've just begun to get a flower on them, which is really good. And next to them are some very windswept garlic. And there are 9 cloves of garlic there. And hopefully I'll be harvesting them soon. But they are looking a bit windswept, as am I, because it is very windy at the moment. We come now to the peas. These are Kelvedon Wonder, I think. They're either Kelvedon Wonder or Felton First. And they are doing okay. I think maybe I'll leave my pea growing till a bit later next year, or maybe try and grow some in my greenhouses. And here are more of my potatoes. I've got my 2 swift buckets in the front, and then these are my Cara, my main crop, and my Maris Piper, which are also my main crop, 5 pots of each. And then there's 4 pots here of Sarpo Mira, and they're just a bit behind because I had to take the white shoots off them. And then these are Charlotte pots here, and more Desiree pots at the end, or Desiree, whichever. And then we come round to my beans, which I planted out the other day. And since I planted them out, we've had nothing but wind. So the poor things have been really windswept. And they did look a lot better when I first put them in. But there's Belotti beans, followed by runner beans. And at the end, there's climbing beans, mixed climbing beans. This is a Crown Prince squash, which I planted the other day. And there's some dwarf French beans there. But they are looking a bit sorry for themselves, really. They obviously they don't really like the wind that much. But hopefully they'll recover. I've interplanted some with my sweet corn. You can see here there is a little bit of fresh growth on here. But the first lot of leaves are struggling a bit. But there's my sweet corn patch interplanted with my green leaves. And coming round to here, this is my lettuce. And my spinach has bolted in there, so that's not great. And then I've got some herb pots here. This is mint, which I took a cut in from my neighbour's garden. And I left it on the windowsill in some water, and it rooted. And I've just got around to potting it up. So hopefully that will start to grow away. There's some thyme there. And then this is coriander. Now, my coriander looks like it's beginning to flower. So I haven't had that very long in these pots. Maybe it doesn't like the cold, but there is still some coriander, and if it goes to seed, then I could use coriander seed in cooking anyway. And this is oregano, which I need to dehydrate. Coming round now to my climbing beans. These are mixed climbing beans. And again, I planted these out the other day, and they seem to be doing okay. They haven't got going up the posts yet, but they have only been in the ground for about 3 days, so that's not bad. And I've just got some spare plants here, which will go in my half barrels when I put up the canes in the half barrels. If we come across to the plum tree over here by the chickens, I am really pleased to report that we actually have some plums on here this year. Normally it's a case of hunt the plum, and there's usually about 3 on there, and by the time the birds have got there first, there are no plums for us. So it'll be really nice if this year we actually get to try some of the plums on the trees. That would be fantastic. But I won't hold my breath, because I have been in this position before where I thought I was going to get some plums and I haven't. Here is my fig tree, which let's not talk about it because I don't do anything with it. I've just dumped it there. And this is my beetroot. I had beetroot down the middle, which has bolted because I grew it over the winter. And I also put some fresh beetroot in, which is what you can see now. And now I've got space to fill with whatever is free, really, that needs to go in there. Again, this is another plum tree, and there are some plums on this tree as well, so it will be really good to see what they are like compared to the other tree. And I do need to stake it. This one is old, this branch is dead really, so I could use it to stake the tree up and stop it from flapping around so much in the wind. Now we come to my parsnip bed, which is not doing very well at all. I did chit these seeds first before I put them in the ground, but I did find my cat tangled up in the netting the other day, and she was scrabbling everywhere. She was really tangled up, and she just went everywhere, and I had to physically unroll her from this netting. So I think she's probably scrambled all the seeds that were there, so I'll plant some more. And this is my pea frame. These are meteor peas and Kelvedon Wonder, and hopefully they'll get away. And in the back I've got some sugar snap peas that need to go in when they've grown on a bit. This is my Heinz tomato patch. There's 3 plants there, and this is a bush variety, so all the tomatoes on there will be harvested at the same time. They'll all be ready at the same time. So that's an ongoing project. That will take a few months for that to come to fruition. And this is my courgette patch, which I'm really pleased with. These courgettes look like they're very happy to be in the ground, which is great because obviously the wind has been bad. My tromboncino in the pot is doing well by the look of it. And these are my Turk's turban squashes, and they look like they've settled in okay as well. They're not so yellow anymore. And here are some multi-sown onions. They are stir-on, and they are growing well too. And this is a Uchiki curry plant in that pot, and these are 2 Uchiki curry plants at the back. And there's garlic in front of them. That should probably be harvested in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I would have thought. And then interplanted here are some shallots and more beetroot. So hopefully they will grow well together. And looking over here, I think this is another plum tree. I didn't realise I had so many plum trees. Well, that's that. Hopefully it'll be a good year for plums. Coming round now to the broad beans. These are doing well. I've had a harvest from them, and as you can see, they are growing great. This next patch are my carrots interplanted with baby leeks. So they are Amsterdam forcing Nant carrots, and then I think it's Musselburgh, which are just meant to be grown small. And here's another patch of broad beans. And again, the broad beans are just beginning to come through. I got some shallots here. I think they're doing well. It's hard to tell when a shallot is ready, really, because they're all slumped over, but they're doing okay. And my beetroot and celeriac patch, this is doing really well. The celeriac has really grown a lot since it's been in the ground, so that's really good. And the beetroot looks like it's doing well too. I've got a bit of a blank space here. I'm waiting for my Swedes to get a bit bigger, and they will be going in there. So at the moment I've just got some radish just to use some of the space. And then this is my kohlrabi patch and my broccoli, and they are being very windswept at the moment, which always worries me with brassicas when they are too windswept, but there's not much I can do about it. And the garlic is looking good. It's looking quite thick, but whether it will have split is another question, because we had such a mild winter. I'm not really sure whether they will have split. But let's go over to my blackberries, which have got flowers on them. Yeah, they are looking great. I'm hopefully will get some blackberries off them this year. And there's some more flowers with a lovely little bee doing its business. Thank you, Mr. Bee. That's great. Go and pollinate the world for us. And there's an apple tree there and another blackberry at the back, which looks like that's doing well, and the apples look like they'll be good too. And here we have a lovely blank space, which is where my sprouts and purple sprouting broccoli and kale should be, but I've had poor germination and my seedlings haven't really grown very well, so I'm waiting for them. And at the bottom I'm going to plant some sweet corn, some more sweet corn there. So yeah, I'll see how that goes. And this is one of the half barrels I was saying I will put those climbing beans in. I'm just waiting for the tulips to die back a little bit more, and then I'll put them in, and hopefully they'll climb away and all will be well. If I come through my front gate into my front garden, we have the Leaning Tower of Pear tree there. It's proper on the wonk, that one. I have to try and turn this pot around or stake it some way so that it's coming away from the fence. But there are some pears coming, hopefully. And then this tree is apple tree, and there are some apples forming on there too. And then so far my strawberry tower is looking good. Well, not tower is it, it's a set of shelves really, but there are strawberries coming. And look at this one. This is a Summer Breeze Cherry F1 with lovely pink flowers. The Montana back there is doing well. And I put some mint in just to fox anything. And yep, I'm really happy with that. I got some raspberries growing in pots, but these never do really well, so I've kind of just abandoned them. I just need to clear them away really. And then up here are my blueberries. So they're looking good, I think. I never get a great crop of blueberries, in all honesty. My Camellia sinensis plant is looking like it belongs in the Adams family at the moment. That's not doing very well. I have potted it on into fresh soil, so hopefully something will come up. And then my raspberries are looking really great, and they've got some flowers coming on them too. So I really should stake these while I can, but it's not really a priority at the moment. And then up here is my fennel. So I've not really had much luck growing fennel in the past, but they do look like they're growing quite well. There's that one and that one. Normally if they start growing up, then they've bolted, and if they grow sideways, they're doing okay, I think. And then up here, I've got some silver skin onions at the back for pickling, and some carrots at the front, but nothing comes through because I only sowed them last week. And what will be in here is another wigwam with climbing beans there. Then there's more trees over here, but I won't take you through all of them. I'll just show you the 2 cherries on this one, because I think that's all we get in this year are 2 cherries. This is a dual tree, and the top of it is nothing, and this side is nothing. And I've got another cherry tree down there which is nothing, so that's going to have to come out very soon, and I'll plant another cherry tree in the winter. I got onions growing down here. Did have a lovely display of tulips up there, but not anymore. Cucumber at the back there, and this is an acer. This is an apple tree. And there's some more cucumbers at the back there. Some pink geraniums or pelargoniums at the front. More onions here. This bed is not doing very well. I think my cat is using it more as a little tray. A dying acer in the front here, and another cucumber at the back there. Here is my dead cherry tree. Look at it. It's dreadful. Must have got a disease or something last year, so that can come out. And then I got more onions here, which you can see are bulbing up because they were planted out earlier than the other 2 beds that just passed. And then pansies are doing very well underneath this apple tree. And then my grape tree has gone bonkers. Well, it's not grape tree, is it? I've got 3 grapevines there and they've gone bonkers. I really need to give all that a prune, but you know, it's always finding the time. Then my tayberry bushes are doing well. They are putting on a lot of fruit, as are the gooseberry bushes here. Now I can't find any fruit, but there are some fruit back there. Those ones there are not doing too well, but I did give them a savage old prune, so that might explain why. The red currants, these so far are looking like the best display of red currants I've had so far. And then if I just move back around here, I can show you my black currants. And look like a good crop of black currants coming too. And then just down there is my rhubarb, which is having, I think it's having a bit of a sulk. It's a bit too hot for it, I think. And I did like a huge picking of it, and it hasn't quite come back as well as it was, but I have got a little bit there to take to my mum, and I will pick a bit more as well. And the rose is doing well. That gives off a lovely scent, that rose, really nice. And then if I come around to the asparagus and onion bed, the onions are getting thicker at the bottom there, and I've left some asparagus to shoot up now, so that's doing well. And the onions that are under this are doing really well too. This is just on because my cat was rolling all over the onions and digging them up. I got tiny little celeriac down there, which is doing okay, and the Charlotte potatoes I've planted in the front are doing well too, and my Welsh onions are doing great too, and the shallots at the front here are doing well. This bed, my husband informed me he would like me to remove the trailer because he can't actually get to the drain at the back, so I might be putting in a low bed along here and losing the trailer. I'm not quite sure yet. And then finally my spinach patch here, that's gone to seed, so I'll be removing the best of the leaves and taking that out soon as well. So that is the whistle stop tour of what's going on in the garden at the moment. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've got on the go. Some things are working out, some things are not. If I have to, I will buy some plug plants for my wintering brassicas, and hopefully everything else will come on well. So I'm pleased with how things are looking. They have been looking great up until the last 2 days where we've had hailstones and really bad wind, so hopefully they'll stand up to the wind anyway. But that's it from me for today. All I can say about what's going on around the garden is lovely job. Take care everybody, and thanks for watching.